Good afternoon and welcome to the Sun's live web chat with Spider-Man star Andrew Garfield. Okay, so he's been doing press interviews all day and he's got the premiere tonight, so it's a busy day, but your questions are coming in good and fast. So first of all, Andrew, how was it working with Jamie Foxx on this movie?
Jamie Foxx is a real performer. He can't help himself. He is just incredibly entertaining. He's exactly as you'd imagine him to be. He's doing Ray Charles impressions, he's doing Ronald Reagan impressions, he's doing Michael Jackson impressions, he's doing Jamie Foxx impressions. He's just constantly entertaining people, keeping the extras warm on long night shoots, shooting in Times Square, leading them in a choreographed dance. He's just a joy. He's a really, really good man, and a sweet man as well. He's got a very soft heart. He comes across as that very cool kind of exterior, but on the inside he's this very sweet, soft heart. So I really, really, really love Jamie.
And there was quite a lot of stunts, obviously, a lot hanging upside down as usual and swinging about. So how many of those do you yourself?
70% is me. 30% is two very talented stuntmen who are just better than me at certain things. And sometimes the studio will get scared if I want to do something that's a bit too dangerous, because if I, heaven forbid, pass away during one of those, that's a bit morbid. It's a little bit morbid, but if I do, we have to stop filming.
Well, it's kind of no movie without you, really,
no,
is
exactly,
there, to be honest?
Not to mention my family would be upset.
Indeed. That's a bit of a cheeky one to start with, from Sarah in Carlisle.
Sarah.
That Spidey suit is pretty tight.
It is tight, Sarah.
Do you wear anything underneath? I'm asking for a friend.
Is this friend's name Sarah? Sarah, it is tight, and I wear just underwear underneath that is minimal.
You know, VPL underwear.
No VPL, exactly. I've never had to really consider that before wearing spandex.
Oh, you know what
I
girls feel like.
understand the feminine dilemma now in a much more visceral way. So I'm sorry about everything that us men have any part in putting you through, Sarah.
And are you a fan of Lycra now or not?
No, I have no desire to wear it unless I have to put on the Spider-Man suit.
Okay, Spidey fan from Glasgow says, you're more lean and fit than bulked up. How do you work out, and have you ever been tempted to bulk up like Henry Cavill?
I have no ability to bulk up like Henry Cavill. God damn it. I've always wanted to. But I was destined to be a skinny streak of urine. And so here we are. And what I love about Spider-Man, I think that's why he was my favourite superhero growing up and still is that he was a skinny kid who was bestowed with these amazing superpowers that then was able to beat the crap out of the big bad bullies. And that was always really enticing and appealing to me, because I was a skinny kid and I still am a skinny kid. So I have no intention. Even if I could, I probably wouldn't. Maybe not, I probably would if I could. Everyone wants to be a little bit bigger.
So who did you fantasize about beating up at school when you were a skinny kid?
No, I'm not going to mention the names, but there were a few, and they know who they are. Hello. Thank you for allowing me to be here today.
If I found a spider in my bath, would you be able to deal with it for me? Scaredy cat in Leeds. So.
Yes, of course, scaredy cat in Leeds. I have no problems with spiders. They are my friends in a deeper and deeper way as I play this character. So yes, I'll be there to rescue you from a tiny, unthreatening spider.
Do you have any phobias of anything? Snakes, okay.
I hate snakes.
So you're not going to be doing a sequel to Snakes in a Plane or anything anytime soon, if there was to be a sequel?
That call hasn't come through, so no, not right now.
From one comic book fan to another, I'd admit that when I was little I invented my own superhero and drew my own, admittedly terrible comic strips. Did you ever do that? And who would play them in a movie adaptation?
That's so cool.
Jessie.
That's pretty cool. No, I always just dreamed of being Spider-Man, and I always dreamed that I would one day become him, and this is the closest I'm going to get, I think, in playing him as an actor. Well, no, I'm not. I'm just the actor. If only. So no, but that's really cool. I never invented my own superhero because I found Spider-Man. He was my guy.
So if you came across a real life crime, would you wade in? Says Mr. Marvellous.
Mr. Marvellous. I do have courage in the face of danger. It depends on the kind of danger and how equipped I am. Simple things, yes, but I also have a survival instinct that if a man has a gun, I will probably run away, or a knife.
Has it ever happened? Have you ever
been held at gunpoint?
No, I mean, have you ever had to wade in when somebody's being picked on, mugged?
Oh yeah. I've done that. I did it at school a lot. And I always got beaten up because I didn't have the strength to back up the inner strength that I thought I had. And yeah, of course, when you see something on the street that is, or on the tube or whatever, it's inappropriate, and you feel that you can offer a hand, you do, within reason.
Do you feel more British or American, and what do you like best about being both?
Well, yeah, I do feel actually like I am. I feel an equal part both. I don't really think about it, to be honest, too often. Obviously, I was raised in England, and I love England. I love all of Britain and Ireland. I like the culture and the history of England, and I love riding on the tube. I lived in London for 10 years, and but I do like America as well. I like the open space in America and the food, and but mostly I'm an Englander for sure.
Can you still go on the tube in London?
Yeah.
You can? You
Oh
don't
yeah,
get
no, it's fine. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm shocked.
don't know. I appreciate people not recognizing me. It's nice. I get to just watch people as opposed to them watching me.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's the weirdest job you've ever had, says Marvel Man John?
The weirdest job I ever had? Gosh, I had a lot of odd jobs growing up. I worked at Starbucks. I was a barista and cleaned the floors in Starbucks in Golders Green and then Hendon. And then I was a cricket coach for a while back in my old school. I worked at the Wigmore Hall. I was a waiter and a bartender at the Wigmore Hall in central London. I don't know if I did. I worked at Reese clothing store. That was my least favorite. Working in retail, I found really, really tough.
Harder than cleaning floors at Starbucks.
Harder than cleaning floors at Starbucks. So at least you're active and you're doing something. At Reese, we got no customers ever, and I would just sit down and read a magazine. And my boss would be like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm sitting." And then she was like, "No, you have to separate all the clothes on the racks by 3 inches each and measure them out." I'm like, "Are you joking?" She's like, "No, get up and do it. There's no sitting around. There's literally no one coming in. And if someone does come in, they're just going to wreck it again. I'm going to have to do it." I hate you, is what I was thinking. I never said it. I just did as I was told, but it was rough.
Wasn't a great advert for Reese there.
Reese, London. Clothes are great.
Do you enjoy doing the romantic scenes? Is it easier with Emma because you're really an item?
Hey, that's a personal question, and that's making an assumption about something that you don't know anything about. I will say.
Do you like doing romantic scenes?
I love doing romantic scenes, especially with such a fine actress as Emma Stone. She is a genius at what she does, evidently, and we all know and love her. And so, yeah, I feel privileged to be able to share screen time with her and the rest of the cast. Yeah, but yeah, romantic scenes. It's strange when you look up and you see one of the crew guys just kind of like watching you as you. It's strange. It is bizarre because you forget, especially with an actress who's that good. You forget that you're shooting a movie. You are just there in the moment. It's amazing.
You have to practice your kissing technique beforehand or anything.
Listen.
No, I don't mean with her. I mean like in the mirror or
just
something.
On my hand.
Just like
yes,
whatever.
Exactly.
Just like, how do I look if I kiss like this?
No, you try not to be too self-conscious about that stuff.
What has been your most memorable character and what is your favourite line from a movie?
Oof, gosh.
One of your movies.
I don't know. I've loved every single thing I've done since like my first TV job was a TV show called Sugar Rush, and I had a complete blast on that, and up until, Spider-Man, I just feel really lucky to have done a load of stuff that I just really care about passionately. I don't really have. It was fun smashing that computer in The Social Network. That was a fun thing to do. That was pretty, and to be able to scream at Justin Timberlake, that was kind of awesome, I have to say.
Was it lovely to work with Justin Timberlake? He seems like a nice guy.
He really is. Yeah, you can't fault him. Unfortunately, he's one of those near perfect people. Yeah.
Any tips for young actors and where to start?
Well, yes. I mean, the first question that I discovered I had to ask myself about acting was, why do I want to do it? And once I answered that and I felt like it was legitimate, then you just dive in and you start studying. It was what I did anyway. I studied Shakespeare. I went to drama school, to a great drama school called Central School of Speech and Drama, and it's in Swiss Cottage, and it was just an amazing 3 years of kind of ups and downs and learning the craft of acting, studying Shakespeare and Arthur Miller and Chekhov and all the great playwrights, really. That's kind of where I started and what I love. But I think the secret is it's different for everybody, and whoever you are, whatever path you want to take, what you're drawn to, just follow that. There's no recipe. There's no box checking. It's just like you just follow where your heart wants, what you get caught on, what catches you. Just follow it. It's follow your bliss. Follow whatever your personal bliss is, and that's the only advice I could give.
Okay, Emma was freaked out to meet Mel C earlier. She's obviously a big Spice Girls fan, I hear.
Yes.
Have you ever been starstruck?
I'm constantly starstruck. Yeah, I'm a boy from Surrey, England. I have no idea what I'm doing in this
Because you've
world.
worked with Tom Cruise and some really big names.
Yeah. It's it never gets less weird. It's weird.
Have you ever had a dodgy moment where you're like, I don't know what to say to this person?
Oh yeah, it's all my life is a series of dodgy moments with famous people that I get awkward in front of. Yeah, it's awful. With Justin, I was that way. With Jamie, I was that way. I mean, it eases because then you realise they are just like us, just like you and I. So.
And you're working with Liam Neeson and Martin Scorsese on it?
Yeah, that's the next film I think I'm doing.
Have you started filming that yet?
No, end of the year.
But you've met Liam and...
I haven't met Liam, but spent time with Mr. Scorsese, which is,
wow,
strange.
Great, isn't it?
It's great.
Which actors do you take inspiration from?
Well, my favourite actor, I would say, is Mark Rylance, the amazing theatre actor and film and TV actor. But his theatre stuff is, if anyone who got lucky enough to see him do the fantastic play Jerusalem, playing Johnny Rooster Byron, and it was on the West End, it was at the Royal Court, it was on Broadway, and all the work that he did at the Globe Theatre, all the Shakespeare stuff he does, he's just touched by something. He's just an incredible presence, and just it's as if Shakespeare was writing the dialogue the night before, just for him. So he's a real favourite of mine. Of course, Daniel Day-Lewis is an amazing method actor, and Marlon Brando and James Dean, and modern actors like Phil Hoffman. I worked with 2 years ago on Broadway. It was a hero of mine, and not just as an actor, but as a man. There's and then comedy actors like I'm such a huge fan of Emma, of Emma Stone. I think she's such an incredible, gifted comedian and deep actress, and I admire comedy a lot because it's something that scares me so much.
Would you like to do some?
Oh, I'd love to give it a whirl. Yeah.
So, what villains would you like to see or fight in the sequels, and why?
Gosh, I mean, like Doc Ock is an amazing villain. Alfred Molina did him so incredibly in the first Spider-Man movies. Vulture, I think, would be an incredible foe because how do you follow a guy that can fly around the city? That's that's a lot of swinging. That would be fascinating. And what I love about the villains in the Spider-Man universe is that they're all very human, So yeah, and Kraven the Hunter, because I think that would be really interesting to see how you make him not camp on screen, because he's a very camp-looking villain in the comics and in the cartoons, generally speaking. So I think it would be really cool to try it. That's a challenge. Morbius. I don't know. There's a lot of really challenging ideas. I don't know.
Have you ever spoken to Tobey Maguire about the movies, or not original, but the last lot?
Yeah.
What does he say about you playing it? Does he like it?
He was fine. Yeah. He was very supportive and lovely about it. He was happy to pass it on, and very supportive. And I those movies are defining for me because they reintroduced me to a character that I started loving when I was 3. And Tobey will always be Spider-Man to me in that way. I watched it twice in a row when I first bought it, and I bought it as a pirate DVD copy on Portobello Road Market from a Chinese lady, and she was very sweet and gave me a good price. And I watched it twice in a row with my mate Terry McGinnis, and we practiced saying his final line in the mirror alternatively and kind of going, "Who am I? I'm Spider-Man." And Terry turned to me every time I tried it and laughed with his Liverpudlian cackle and said, "You'll never be in Spider-Man." I was like, "Oh, okay." Here we are, Terry.
You're in a couple of Doctor Who episodes.
I am.
Who is your favourite Doctor? Be honest now.
Okay.
Says Daniel.
I think David Tennant was amazing. I think he's amazing. I do love him. And Matt Smith is a friend and a fellow Thesp that we did one of our first plays together in London. And I just think he did such a genius job. I think it was a brilliant cast, and I'm really excited to see what Peter Capaldi can do, because he's just so great in the thick of it and all that, and in the loop, and he's just such a great actor. They get such great actors for Doctor Who, don't they?
They do.
He's such an amazing institution. It's really cool.
Final question: all the wisecracking Spider-Man does means you get to show off your comedic side. Did you get to ad-lib much? And have you ever thought of doing a full comedy film?
We just kind of covered that. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, no, there's a lot of ad-libbing. It's great because you have the mask on, so you can say whatever you want, and they can just take it out later and put funnier things in. But on the day, yeah, there was a lot of ad-libbing, but there was also a really great script. And actually later on, we did a looping session, which is when you go into a sound studio after the fact, and you record different lines that they can just loop in under, because you don't see what the mouth is doing, so you can just say anything when you're in the suit. And we got a couple of comedians in to help out, like Patton Oswalt, who's a big Spider-Man fan, who's an American comedian, and a couple of other guys, and it was just really fun. And yeah, I would love, of course, to do a comedy.
Well, thank you very much, Andrew.
Thank you. Fun.
Thank you.
Thanks.